Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 33 of the Tiny Disc Podcast, a show about games and life. I am Robert Scarpanito, and I'm joined here by Jac Cepeda.
Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang, everybody. How are you?
Oh, that's a new one. And Collin, are you there?
No, he's a sick boy today. Collin, feel better. He's out sick.
Uh-oh. Yep, apparently he's not feeling well. We fingers crossed for him. We hope he gets better. Drink lots of tea if you're hearing this, Collin.
I hope it's not that influenza because it's nasty this year.
Wait, can we catch it?
Yes, we can. We're human beings. We're biological forms on this planet. We're susceptible, I think.
Well, no, just we're in the same chat room we usually use. Can we get it from him?
No, I took Lysol and wiped down my entire screen.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm clean. I don't know about you though.
Oh man, I
speak to that.
I did not Lysol my entire computer. I might get sick, guys. So
H1N1.
So a big game happened over the weekend. I hear that there was a lot of what do they call it? Football.
Football Americano. Yeah, it was the Super Bowl Sunday. The Eagles defeated the Patriots.
Congrats.
And I could not care less because they're both teams that I don't care about, obviously. But I mean, it's still fun to watch the Super Bowl and it's fun to watch commercials. This year, it was incredibly entertaining to watch a little bit of the Super Bowl because they did a funny thing. They did a real bad thing.
A really, really awful thing.
So, look this up on Twitter. There's plenty of GIFs out there showing the literal PlayStation 2 Madden era graphics depicting players during in between plays and stuff when they're showing the stats, like how many yards people ran or how many throws they made or etc., touchdowns and all that. And they had these terrible looking sprites of players up and it was laughable. I was like, what is happening? I was literally looking before the Super Bowl. I was like, is the Super Bowl going to be in 4K this year? And the answer was no, it's not in 4K. It's actually all the way back down to 0.2K with these graphics coming out.
It's in 0.48K.
It was the worst, and I was like, come on, NBC, get together. This is the Super Bowl.
Well, they probably spent a lot of their budget on keeping the balls inflated and just making sure Tom Brady doesn't mess with it.
And you can't even say the Super Bowl, right? Like TM, you have to say the big game.
Wait.
It's the big game.
Wait. Hold, back up. Are you telling me the Super Bowl is not trademarked?
It is trademarked is what I'm telling you. You cannot use it.
Oh, because if we say it, we're making money off the Super Bowl's good name.
Who knows? Yeah, it's the great name of the Super Bowl. But it's just funny. So the big game, right? People literally say this is the Super Bowl of XYZ. You know what I mean? They use it as a descriptor for how big something can be. And then they're using these terrible graphics. It's come on.
Do they get sued though? If someone says, yeah, we're the Super Bowl of karate sports. And then they just get sued.
I think that's exactly.
John Madden knocks on their door. He himself kind of gets up, knocks on their door. Excuse me, sir.
Do you have the express written consent of the NFL and NBC? Only the NFL.
He just shoots him right there. He's gone.
Yeah. But no, that was a funny thing to watch. Look up those pictures. But for someone who didn't care so much about the two teams, I mean, congrats to Philly though. They won for the first time ever. I don't know, is that team 100 years old or something stupid like that? They've never won the Super Bowl, so congrats to them. They prevented they prevented Tom Brady from winning six Super Bowls.
Is it that much?
Yeah, it would have been their sixth one.
No
He's
way.
won 5.
No.
Yeah.
Way. Oh my God.
Yeah, it would have been the sixth one. So I'm like, come on, guys, let someone else win, please.
Come on, Tommy. Anyways, stop hogging the spotlight, Tommy.
Yeah, he's a bad man. He's a good quarterback, but I mean, he's won enough. Let's share the wealth here.
Yeah.
So, anyways, the reason why I'm watching the Super Bowl, like so many other people, is for the commercials and for the really cool movie trailers. And there were some really good ones this year, some really funny ones too. I don't know, where do you want to start?
I do just want to say before we go into movie trailers, that Alexa commercial with fucking Gordon Ramsay yelling at you on how to make a grilled cheese sandwich is great. And also my favorite thing is if you own an Alexa, please don't wake. Oh God, she's listening to me right now. If you own one of her.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Thank you.
Come on now.
If you own,
I thought you were joking. You were being serious.
No, it's serious. Yeah. If you own an Echo and then you talk to her and say, "Hey, can you talk like this celebrity?" She'll mimic them, but it won't actually be their voice. But it's pretty good.
Just her bad impersonation. That's pretty funny.
It's cute.
Oh man. So yeah,
I think let's start with one of the low-key movie trailers, Skyscraper.
Oh my gosh. Okay, it's like literally Dwayne The Rock Johnson versus a building and versus his fake prosthetic leg, it seems like. Like, what is this movie?
I don't know.
Is this trying to like play on Die Hard or something? What is this?
I don't know. When I looked at it, my first and only thought to this day is they cast Dwayne The Rock Johnson in a Will Smith movie.
Yeah.
Because it looks like a movie
bad.
Will Smith would be starring in.
It totally does. I totally get that. I love there was a meme on Twitter the other day that they were showing the movie poster and it was just him jumping from like a crane to a building and it just looked way over exaggerated. Like no human could like make that actual jump. Like how far can The Rock jump, right? And so people were drawing like angles and like applying physics to like,
my God,
his trajectory and stuff and just showing like how it's an impossible jump for humans to do. It was pretty funny.
Were they factoring in the prosthetic leg? Maybe it gave him superpowers.
You know, maybe he was like Blade Runner, right?
Yeah.
Like that dude that was in the Olympics and was a paraplegic.
Yeah, maybe.
Which is pretty cool.
Maybe. But let's get on to the better movie trailers, maybe. Let's talk about Solo.
So better question mark? So I'm not even joking. I'm not even doing a bit here. When I saw like that it was Star Wars stuff in the beginning, I was not paying attention because I literally thought I was watching a car commercial. With like literally, I'm not joking, that it was a car commercial with like, you know, a Star Wars tie-in like they did with like Nissan or some shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Ford, so
like,
smooth, you're gonna be driving an X-Wing.
Yeah, and even like when they showed Chewie and stuff, I was like, oh, that's a decent Chewie impersonation, right? Like it seemed fake to me. It seemed unreal. It seemed surreal. And I was like, okay, my brain just said, okay, don't pay attention to this. So I was looking, getting a beer, running to the kitchen and doing other stuff. And then I sit back down and it showed like the dude that plays Han Solo and him talking and cracking wise and all stuff. And I was like, oh shit, this is the actual Solo trailer. I was like, I should have been paying way more attention to this. And I wasn't. And I have thoughts and opinions, but I want to hear yours first.
It kind of looks, how to phrase this, it looks like a cheaper version of Star Wars. It looks like a fanfic come to life on the screen of a Star Wars, like of a Star Wars universe, if that makes sense.
Yes. No one asked for this. I didn't ask for this. I don't want this. I don't need to know every like last detail of every character that I've come to know and love from the original Star Wars trilogy. And most importantly, okay, I'm going to go in a bit of a rant here. That dude is not Han Solo. He does not personify the character. That's just a bad casting choice. Now I understand in Hail Caesar, like, you know, he kind of stole the show, and I understand like that's really what landed him this role as Han Solo because he's such a lovable character in that. But he's just not Han Solo. He's not Harrison Ford, and it's like ruining the movie for me. So I want to go in and just watch a funny little side story for Star Wars. And just maybe like erase from my head that this is supposed to be Han Solo. I feel like that's the only way I'm going to really like enjoy this. But if I go in it like as a diehard Han Solo fan, it's just going to irk the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And there was a meme as well that was showing, it's not even a meme, it's just like a video clip where someone was asking Harrison Ford, the actual actor, he's like, hey, are you excited to see, you know, the Solo movie? And he's like, not really. Like, yeah, same, Harrison, same.
I mean, because the trouble here, right, is that they can't really cast Harrison Ford now. Harry's a little old.
Sure.
You know?
Yes. Yeah, he's a little curmudgeonly. Yeah.
I don't think he could fit that role of what they're trying to go for.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it'll be a fun movie. It's just that the trouble is, right, with Star Wars is that you have such a storied franchise that if you fuck even the smallest thing up, everyone's going to be like, that's not great. You know what I mean? I feel like flaws are exaggerated because it's a storied franchise that's been beloved for almost half a century. Wrap your head around that.
I just don't need this. It's kind of like, it reminds me of the prequels. Okay, I hate to invoke those prequels, but like one time, right, in the original Star Wars, Han Solo mentioned the Clone Wars. So what does George Lucas have to do? He has to go make a whole fucking trilogy and a movie surrounding the Clone Wars and all this bullshit and pull all this shit out of his ass, and it was just bad all over the place. So it's just like they're kind of bringing back like, oh, the Kessel Run and like all the stuff that Han Solo said he did like in the movies, and now we're gonna see it on screen now. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna know, you know, how he won the Millennium Falcon in a game of chance and and Canto Bite and and it's just like, I don't need it. I don't want it. There's no one that can play Han Solo. That's one of those like untouchable roles.
Yeah.
In my opinion, much like Indiana Jones, like you just cannot have another person do that. Like I don't want to see a young Leia or a young Luke Skywalker movie either. Like I don't care about him moisture farming with Aunt Rue, like I don't need that movie. So whatever. It was cool to see the trailer, I guess, but I'm just going to pretend that it wasn't Han Solo. It's just like another fun Star Wars movie. And then I'll maybe be able to stomach it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think it'll be all right. Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
Something that did look really good, though, was that Infinity War trailer that played. The new Avengers Infinity War. Holy crap. That looks really good.
Yeah, I'm getting hyped for that. I will say that I still don't like Captain America's stupid-looking shield in it. I hope there's a good reason that he has that shield and not his normal one. I think it's going to be interesting to see Thor post Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, with his
That'll
eye patch.
Be fun.
That badass
eye
patch.
Just his new powers. Yeah, his new powers and everything. So how can you not be excited for this? It's going to be, everyone's going to be Guardians of the Galaxy involved.
Yep.
Ant-Man will be there. The Wasp will be there. Black Panther, I'm sure we'll get excited about. So that trailer looked good. I was somewhat surprised though that they're kind of pimping that movie out now rather than Black Panther, which is kind of like of the time, of the now.
Yeah.
Like, hey, don't look too far ahead. Like, let's celebrate Black Panther, because what I hear, the reviews are extremely positive, and like I'm only getting more hype for that movie by the minute.
Maybe that's their thing though, right? Because there are already reviews out for Black Panther, and rarely, if ever, do reviews for a movie come out a week or two before the movie itself. Like when the reviews when they come out, it's the director and the studio saying like, yeah, we know we got a big dick, we're gonna swing it around a little bit in front of you, right?
Wow, Black Panther dick. Okay.
You're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome for that.
No, but you're right though. Like it is usually in quotes, a good sign.
Yes.
When they're willing to put a movie out there early and drop the embargo for reviews. So
right. So what?
Like I said, all the signs are there. This movie's gonna be awesome.
Right. So what I'm saying is like, because they've released early reviews, it's like they feel that their marketing cycle is already done. You know what I mean? Like the reviews are continually marketing this thing now, so they can now put more of their efforts into the Avengers.
I don't, you know what? You remind me now of something I read the other day, but like Rotten Tomatoes is actively fighting for some reason. Listen, I don't want to make this too political, but there is a sector out there in the interwebs that are campaigning to basically firebomb the reviews for Black Panther.
That's good.
No, it's terrible.
That's good.
And Rotten Tomatoes is aware of this, and they're like going to try and actively try and quash that, because no users can put out any reviews right now because they haven't seen the movie,
right?
Unless you're a journalist or unless you're like part of
a critic.
You have to know somebody. Yeah, you got to know somebody or be a professional to see it now. So you can't have negative user reviews for a movie you've never seen unless you have an agenda, and whatever that agenda is can't be good. So fuck that shit.
Yeah, guys, maybe don't judge a piece of media by your personal preferences. Your racism.
Guys, don't make me turn this car around.
Yeah.
We're not going to Chuck E. Cheese.
I don't know. I am excited for that movie though. Next weekend, y'all. If you're going to be watching it, comes out next weekend. So get excited.
I'm there.
But let's talk about something else we talk about on this podcast a lot. Let's talk about some video games.
Yay!
Nice. So I've been playing a bit of Hollow Knight. If you remember that game, came out when did that come out? It's been a while, right? It was last year.
Yeah. I guess that's not that long.
Oh, hey, actually,
but in internet time, it's forever ago.
Yeah, it came out February 24, 2017. So we're nearing a year of Hollow Knight.
Nice. I didn't know it's been that long. That game is awesome.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I put in a couple hours in it, and it's fun. It's a very decent Metroidvania, very cute. The artsy style of it is wonderful. Like I'm a big fan of it. And I'm saying that as someone who doesn't like bugs, because everything there is a bug in some way, right? They're just like cutesified in some way. Right. But yeah, the art's fine, music's fine. I don't like how the game feels though. Like the way it controls, the way you jump, the way you move, the way you swing your little sword that's actually a tiny little nail. It all just feels like there's a slight delay in everything to me. I don't know. It just feels like, I mean, every time I'm playing this game and almost every time I die, I keep thinking to myself,
It's not your fault.
I wouldn't have died if I were playing Dead Cells.
Huh. So are you saying that it feels a little floaty?
Yes.
Would you say?
Yes.
I wonder if you are experiencing some kind of weird glitch, because I was actually going to comment at how tight the game feels.
Really?
And yes, and how I love the controls and I love the way all the mechanics feel because they're so responsive. And I feel like when I die, it's my fault.
I don't know. I mean, it's
So it's exactly the opposite of what you're feeling. So maybe it's a technical thing.
Yeah, I think it's more so that just like I wish everything moved faster. I feel like things just move too slowly for my taste. Like when you jump and when you land, you can't like jump immediately. There's like a slight delay in when you can jump again. Or like even the timing of when you're like running to the edge of a cliff to jump. I feel like that timing is a little weird for me. I don't know what it is.
You know, I'm getting a technical glitch as well with the game that I take umbrage with in a big way. So for whatever reason, this game it made me think my monitor was broken.
Oops.
It has in one particular location in the center, like the top center of the screen, it looks like one dead pixel in my screen only when I'm playing Hollow Knight.
Huh.
And it's like bright red.
But it's only in
And I
like
was
that area.
Yes, in that specific game, and I was having a heart attack. I was like, no, please do not tell me my $1,400 monitor is a dead pixel.
Whoops.
This is going to ruin me. Yeah, I was really upset about it, and I was trying things, and then I like turned off the game and it went away. I was like, oh shit, it's fixed. Turned the game back on, it's back there. And it was totally acting like a dead pixel kind of thing. So I look on Steam, I look in the chat rooms, it is absolutely an issue. That is giving people heart attacks all over the country. Like, what is this?
That is so
What is this
weird.
graphical issue? So yeah, and then you're talking about like floaty controls and like delays and jumps, and like I'll be honest with you, Robert, I'm not experiencing any of that. Like I don't know. I'm just struggling over here. I don't know why you're getting that, but like for whatever reason, I feel like the game is very tight. I love the way it controls. I don't get any of those delays or in that floaty feel. I just think it feels really good in the hands. So that sucks that you're experiencing it like that, because I think there's a cool game behind that flaw you're experiencing.
I don't know. Like, I guess it wouldn't bother me as much if like I feel like the level design is a little bit tricky, but not in a fair way. Like, I feel like there are a lot of leaps of faith, for example, where you don't really know where you're gonna land, but more often than not, you end up landing in like a pit or like spikes or something. And that just doesn't feel like the game has earned that right to take that life point away from me, just because there's no real telegraphing to it in a way.
I've only played 2 hours of it. How much have you played?
Like 6, 7, 8.
Okay, so you've seen more of the game than I have. That's an interesting take on it. I mean, I feel like this game is sort of polarizing because some people love it. It's some people's #1 game of the entire year.
Yep.
And some people really hate it or just are meh and don't care. I haven't heard the comparisons to Dead Cells too much, but I mean, it's a 2D indie, Metroidvania. Like, those comparisons are inevitable.
Right.
But I haven't played much of Dead Cells, so I don't have much to compare it to against Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
However, I will say I think that the music, the art, for me anyways, the controls are very tight. I don't know. I was having a good time. I look forward to playing more of it. But I haven't been experiencing it the way you have.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, this isn't enough for me yet to be like, well, I'm done forever with this game. Like, I haven't uninstalled it. I do want to keep playing more of it. I do want to get further, because I know you eventually get like a fucking double jump, and I'm just like waiting for that. I really hate that they don't just give you that off the bat. And like, I get it, Metroidvania, like, you're supposed to be getting your skills slowly and becoming stronger as you go. But like the simple mobility things, I think it's just kind of a hassle to make you earn those things.
I seem to recall an air dash. Do you have an air dash yet?
I just got it.
I feel like I got it earlier.
No.
Weird. Okay. All right. Anyways, that's Hollow Knight, guys. Some people hate it. Some people love it. Robert is a masochist, so he's going to keep playing it.
I am going to keep playing it. You know what? I might talk about it next week, maybe, if I don't end up talking about the Civilization 6 expansion. But we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah.
We'll see. Jack, what have you been doing?
So we're talking about floaty controls.
Uh-oh.
And let me just tell you that I am playing the remake of Shadow of the Colossus on PlayStation 4, the Pro version, by the way.
Is this the 7th remake, the 8th remake?
It's like the 3rd, I think, in all reality, but still, like, you know, like it's not the one that they released it on PS2, okay, back in the day, and then they did an up-resed version on PS3, and then now they're doing a complete, like, from the ground up remake of all the graphics and adding new features into the game, but they're keeping the feel, you know, and they're keeping, you know, the core, the soul of the game is the same and is untouched. And that's where I'm just like, it's this weird juxtaposition between one of the best looking games I've seen in a very long time versus some of the worst controls in a game ever. And it's just so floaty and so like, and you know what though? That's the game. That's the game that it was in the PS2. I played it originally on the PS2 in like 2005 or 6 or 7, whenever it was.
And back then, like, you loved it, right? If I remember right.
I loved it, and I still love the game, but it's just strange now in 2017. Oh, 2018.
Oh.
Still doing it, yeah. It's still strange in 2018 to play a game that looks so good, but like the feel of it is very like
old,
tenuous. Yeah, it's not even old. It just felt like you barely had a grip on things, you know, but that's the game. You're climbing on the hairy backs of giant stone godlike creatures and stabbing them in their shiny bits. Like, that's the game you play.
Yeah.
And you do that over and over 16 times, then you beat the game. It's basically like Punch-Out, you know?
Right, except for
with an overworld.
Not at all like Punch-Out.
It's kind of like Punch-Out. So,
oh yeah, do you climb the other boxers in Punch-Out?
King Hippo. So you punch him in the stomach. No. So you stab him in the stomach. No. So the game, though, is an absolute masterpiece. I love this game. You know, with the poor controls and all, they're suboptimal, but it doesn't matter. The game is fantastic still. I wish that developers took chances like this anymore. Games do not like this do not come out anymore. They don't get made anymore. This is Fumito Ueda at his finest, and you know, it's too bad that he couldn't properly, you know, kind of move the needle when The Last Guardian came. What's the name of this?
Yeah, The Last Guardian.
Yeah, like that movie or that game was, you know, good, but it just kind of came and went, and that was kind of the end of it, you know. So yeah, with all three of them out now, Shadow of the Colossus definitely is like the shining jewel in the Eco trilogy.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask, would you say that Shadows of the Colossus is basically lightning in a bottle?
I mean, it
just doesn't seem like the studio is able to produce that same level of like good game, right? Like consistently.
It just is the perfect balance between art and game mechanics and enough simplicity, but also enough like nuance to be interesting. And the story is fantastic. It's the best story of the three games easily. I think the ending alone is worth playing the game. It's got a really good ending. So look forward to that, and it says a lot. It's one of those games that I don't want to ruin it. I could ruin it in one sentence, but don't. I will not. Even though it's like a 12-year-old game or whatever, but it's a great ending and it's worth it. And it's not a long game. You know, 8 hours, 10 hours.
Yeah, depending on
the whole thing.
Depending on how like good you are. The game.
Yeah, depending on learning like what the tricks are.
Yeah.
To or the tactics are to beat each different Colossus. But I will say this as well. I wish Best Buy or just some of these big box retailers would have a station set up where you can play a PlayStation Pro in HDR and see what it looks like compared to the TVs you have at home, you know, if you're not in the 4K area yet. Because had I played a game on a 4K TV with HDR on a PlayStation 4 Pro, I would have wanted one so much sooner. I wouldn't have waited this long. I just now got a 4K TV like a couple weeks ago, and playing this game in HDR. And even stupid games like Hot Shots or Everybody's Golf.
Yeah.
Like even those games in HDR look so awesome. Yes, it is a big deal. I used to think like, whatever, I'm sure it looks fine. No. This is a big deal. It makes games look much, much better. And you really have to, like, let's say you're coming out of a dark cave and like you are coming outside and you see the bright sunlight like shining in. Like it actually almost like hurts your eyes. How bright the light is coming in through that door, and you can see the perfect contrast. Like it emulates like true light, you know, like you like that effect, and it's just such a cool thing to see. So I wish that there was somewhere where people could get hands on and eyes on HDR 4K gaming, because man, it is next level.
And would you say Shadows of the Colossus definitely benefits?
Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. Like I am like just slack-jawed watching. I'm like, this game's fucking beautiful. It's so good looking. It's one of the best looking games I've seen so far, and we can't nominate it for a Tiny because because it came out 12 years ago. But man, it is still one of the best looking games of the year so far.
Right. See, so there's something I kind of wanted to ask you because it's something that I've felt whenever I play like a remaster, remake in any way, especially if it's a game where like, oh man, I remember playing that 10 years ago. It was so super good, right?
Right.
Do you feel? I mean, how many hours have you played of it, or how much have you played?
I mean, I've beaten the game like 3-4 times, and just out the remake, I'm in like 3 Colossi in.
Okay, so like 2-ish hours or so.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
So, do you feel compelled to beat the game again on the remake?
100%, absolutely, because this game is running at 60 frames a second, which it never did before. Dude, I'm telling you, I don't know how they pulled this game off on a PS2.
Yeah.
Like, how do they do that? I mean, sometimes it was probably dipping in the sub 10 frames a second. It's one of the most framiest games I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, all the reviews back then were like, this should not be on PlayStation 2. It's like pushing it to its absolute limits. Like, it was framey as shit, and the textures were just muddy and gross. But it was still the art style was so strong, and the concept overall for the game was so strong that it carried that game, into legendary status.
Yeah, because I don't know.
So
like,
yeah,
for me,
I will play it again.
Yeah, for me, sometimes whenever I play a remake, remaster, I play it for like a couple hours, but I'm kind of like, oh well, I remember everything else that happened, so I'm kind of like done playing it. And I tell myself like maybe I'll get back to it, but I kind of don't usually.
I can't remember. Have you played Shadow of the Colossus before?
I have, yeah. Obviously not the remake, but yeah.
Gotcha. For me, okay, I'm just saying for me, this is absolutely the most definitive way to play this game, which is an absolute classic game. This is one of the best PlayStation 2 games ever made, in my opinion. And this is the best way to play it. 60 frames a second. It's so weird to see this game running this smoothly because you're just used to it looking like it's on a pea green Game Boy screen, basically. Like, that's an exaggeration, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it is like a dream to play, and I'm running it in performance mode, not cinematic mode, quote unquote. Yeah, and it looks fantastic, and it runs so well. So I would absolutely recommend if you've never played this game before, this is almost a must buy at $40. They got the price point right. It's not a full price $60 game. It's almost a must buy at $40. And if you have played it before, this is the best definitive way to play it. So
would you say for someone who has never played Shadow of the Colossus, should they go back and play a PS2 or should they buy this?
I mean, hopefully you have a PS4.
Yeah.
Like if you have PS4, then yeah, don't even bother with the PS2 crap at all. Play this one. This is the definitive one.
Well, there you go. There's Jack's words on it.
I love this game.
And probably Collin does too. I know Collin was planning on talking about it today, but oops.
Yeah, he's probably that he's faking sick so he can just play it.
That's probably
during the recording. Yeah, we got you.
Yeah,
We're
we
on
got
you,
it,
buddy.
Collin. We know what you're doing, you dirty boy. Let's talk about the news though. All right, so we got a bit of news this week. Let's kick it off with you remember that game Sleeping Dogs?
Sleeping Dogs. God, yeah, I love that game. That game's good.
That game is so good, man. Holy crap.
It's great.
So apparently there's been a movie like in production, and Donnie Yen, who I believe is playing Wei Shen, right, the main character in the movie, the main character of the game, he's recently like reconfirmed like, yeah, it's still happening. Don't worry. It's still gonna go.
Ip Man himself, intellectual property man, is going to be in Sleeping Dogs. Donnie Yen, dude, I love that guy. I really do. I loved him in Rogue One. I love him, in all his Hong Kong Kung Fu movies. And I think that the fact that he's in Sleeping Dogs makes me more excited. I don't expect much from this because it's what is it? It's a movie based on a video game that's based on True Crimes New York game that got canceled. But so who cares? It's just gonna be good, stupid fun. Give me gangsters, give me rain, give me neon signs in Hong Kong or wherever it takes place. I can't remember.
I think it's Hong Kong. Yeah. I mean, if anything, this news is making me just kind of want to play Sleeping Dogs again because that game was just so fun. And
I have played shamedly small portion of that game. I need to go and like really get into that game.
Yeah, no, that game was good because what I loved about it is that, I mean, it was basically like GTA, but instead of guns, you kung fu your way through everything, which is pretty great.
And it was brutal too. I remember the combat being like almost like Mortal Kombat levels of brutal bone breaking.
Yeah, and you could like you could use your environment, throw people off buildings, throw them into like windows, stuff like that. It was so cool,
dude. And with the graphics cards now, like that game's kind of old. And it runs like a dream on pretty much anything.
It looks
now.
so good, yeah.
Oh, so yeah, I'm with you though on replaying that game.
Yeah, I mean the movie, I don't know. I mean, I'm not expecting Oscar noms or anything, but I don't know. It'd be cool to see.
I don't require a lot with my Sleeping Dogs movie. Just give me the bare basics, and I will be happy, and I'll eat my popcorn. And
would you just watch an hour and a half of just a video of dogs sleeping?
No, but I would watch a video of just Donnie Yen just driving in a rained out Hong Kong
just for an hour and a half, just him driving, kind of basically reminiscent of that like 10-hour stream of fucking what's his name, the Overwatch guy, Jeff Kaplan, just sitting in front of a Yule log, just chilling. Do you know that, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Wait, that was 10 hours long?
It was 10 hours long of just a video of him sitting in front of a Yule log, and then occasionally, I like my cookies like I like my Overwatch with a lot of salt.
He literally sat there for 10 hours and did nothing?
I think they've confirmed that it was a loop. So I'm pretty sure that he just pre-recorded some moments of him talking and then just kind of like stitched it all together.
So it was like a Christmas present, like here, if you want to spend Christmas with Jeff Kaplan by the fireside, put this on your TV.
If you've never seen the video, it's so good.
That's pretty funny.
It's really funny. Great.
Okay. I wish it wasn't a loop, but it's still cool.
Oh, yeah. Far Cry 5, I keep forgetting about that game happening within a few months. Like, that's what, March, right?
No, like, yeah, it's like a month.
Oh, shit. Yeah, because it's February. Jesus.
Yes. It's a month. It's on, dude. Montana is on fire.
2018 needs to stop. I mean,
let's go.
It's basically 2 months. It's the end of March when it comes out. So, I mean...
technicalities, dude. I am hype on Far Cry 5. I am hype.
So here's what makes me even more excited, though. They've recently revealed the season pass, and my favorite moments of Far Cry is when they stopped pretending to be Far Cry. Main example, Blood Dragon. Did you ever play Blood Dragon?
Yes, I love Blood Dragon. It's so stupid.
Blood Dragon. It's so great. It's so silly. It's so obnoxiously 80s. I don't even remember the main character's name. I remember it was something very 80s manly.
Oh, it was so good.
It was like Rex something. And he had like a bionic arm or whatever. But anyway, so Far Cry 5, their DLC they've revealed it's like 3 major DLCs in the season pass. And the first one's called Dead Living Zombies. The second one's called Hours of Darkness, and it looks like you time travel to like Vietnam, like the war. Shit. And the third one is Lost on Mars, where you fight Martians.
This is the right kind of stupid, man.
Oh,
this is my kind of stupid that I can totally get behind. I mean, I've got high hopes for this game. I hope I'm not like getting too pumped for it, but I'm really hoping this is one of the best games of the year.
Correction. Giant spider Martians.
Better. It's terrifying.
Even
terrifying.
Better. No, I am so into the season pass because that's just so freaking silly. And I'm so glad they're attaching it to this very, like, come on, let's be honest. Far Cry 5 is very serious. Maybe too serious for its own good based on, like, the marketing I've seen. But, you know, it's like, very extremely right-wing, like, cult has taken over a small town. Like, there's very little room for, like, silliness and jokes in that kind of atmosphere.
Yeah, it's a pretty serious game.
Right. But then I'm so glad their DLC is just like, you want to fight some zombies? You want to fight Martian spiders?
I'm so with you, yeah. And what's this Far Cry 3 remaster I'm hearing?
Excuse me? Oh, the included Far Cry 3 Classic Edition will also be a standalone game sold separately.
So that comes, the Far Cry 3 remaster comes with the season pass?
I'm not sure, because it does say those who pre-order the Far Cry 5 season pass will get access to the Far Cry 3 Classic for 4 weeks early.
Oh, wait, hold on. Is this just the game Far Cry 3 or is it a remaster? I'm really not sure, actually. Because who cares if it's just a regular game? But if they redo it in the Far Cry 5 engine, then we're fucking talking about some real awesome shit now. Because Far Cry 3 is probably the best one in the series so far with Voss and everybody.
Yeah, I mean, like, I do love... I mean, okay, slight spoilers. Voss isn't the final boss for whatever fucking reason.
That's a big spoiler, and that sucks too. Like, I hated that part about Far Cry 3.
Yeah, like that's the thing. I'm gonna ruin it for you now. If you're into it only for Voss, be ready for slight disappointment.
Still play the game, but it's awesome. He just goes away too soon. He's too good.
Way too soon, man.
Yeah. So maybe in the remaster they'll correct that, please.
Yeah, they're just gonna change the whole story.
Fucking do it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure that it's probably not going to be anything crazy. It's not going to be like a Shadow of the Colossus remake level of here's Far Cry 3.
While we're on waxing nostalgic about Far Cry 3, my favorite moment in the whole game, they're in a game full of great moments, is the mission where they're playing Skrillex and you're burning down a giant field of weed.
You're just burning weed everywhere. It's so good.
Give you a flamethrower. I think it's the first time you get a flamethrower in the game. Oh, man.
It's a great moment, man.
I love the music too. It's so stupid.
Yeah, just wob, 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 wob. It's so dumb.
Wob. Yeah.
And can confirm, Far Cry 3 Classic Edition does come with the Far Cry 5 Season Pass. So
Classic Edition?
Yeah, that's what this Far Cry 3 remake is called. So
I don't get it. Is it a remake or is it a classic game? You're saying both words.
I think they're just porting it over to like to
PC?
To the modern consoles, like so PS4 or Xbox One, because it's not.
So it'll run smoother though.
Maybe, yeah, but I don't expect like new graphics, new story, or anything.
Okay, so PC is really like a non-thing.
Yeah, it's not that cool.
But I played the Far Cry 3 on Gasp, the Xbox 360.
I played it on the PS3.
And it was framey.
Yes.
For sure. And it wasn't very smooth. I was praying for that game at 60 frames a second, and it was not to be, but it's still a great game.
Yeah. So I don't know. Fingers crossed. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that sounds really fucking cool, actually.
Yep.
Season pass stuff.
Overwatch is still doing its events, of course. Lunar New Year is coming February 8th. That's cool, I guess. Year of the Doge.
It's the year of the dog.
Year of the Doge.
I'm going hungry. Going hungry. Yeah.
There's going to be a new map set in Thailand, which I guess that's cool.
Are they doing like a theme park map, or did that already come out?
Yeah, that came out, I want to say at the end of last month. Blizzard World.
Okay. I'm behind on my Overwatch, man. I fell in so deep last year.
Yeah, you were in way deep.
I was ranking, man. I was playing only ranked.
You were climbing that ladder.
I was the highest of my friends I know.
Oh, did you buy a lot of weed?
No. no. I burned it all with a flamethrower.
Yeah, you went straight to the farm.
I was hardcore into some Overwatch, and I said to myself, no mas, because there were too many games I had to play.
Yes, absolutely. Here's some actually kind of really big news. The Switch has confirmed, or Nintendo, the Switch itself, the console is sentient. It's confirmed something. No, Nintendo has said that, their Switch Online subscription service is coming in September.
To play what? Mario Kart?
The service will be $3.99 a month, $8 for 3 months, $20 for the whole year. So really, that's not that bad compared to like Xbox and like PS4. They're like what, $50, $60 for a year? Yeah,
but there's no Snap Map in Doom. Like, what are you gonna do on this? Like Splatoon, you gotta be hardcore to Splatoon and Mario Kart to even pay for this.
Because let's see, they're gonna offer some like new games each month. Well, not new, like old games, right? Like,
this is what they're attaching the Super Nintendo remakes to?
Yeah, like Super Mario Bros. 3, Balloon Fight, Dr. Mario. And the Switch games, like those ones that come with the subscription, they're only free for the month. So like, in February, let's say you can pick up these games only within February.
Okay, so it's not like PlayStation Plus, where if you are there for the month, you get to play them for free whenever.
Yes, yeah.
It's like you only get them for these 30 days, and then everyone doesn't get them anymore. Is that like that?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's how they're swinging it.
Whoa, that's a big deal. So wait a second. So literally after the next month, you just cannot boot those games up.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine like they're probably going to release Virtual Console around the same time, right? I mean, I'd have to think. Like how?
Here's the thing, dude. You say the bad word on this podcast here. I don't think they're coming out with the Virtual Console on the Switch. I've said this before on the record, and I still don't think it's happening.
I
know it sounds crazy.
Come on, think about it though.
Dude, I know it sounds crazy. You think I want this? I don't want this, but I'm telling you, man, Nintendo, it has not worked well for them, and they've been trying to distance themselves away from it little by little. Like, think about it, man.
Okay, but
like,
think about
the Wii U, this.
Think about how much worse it would be if they're like, yeah, you can totally subscribe to our $20 a year online service where you can play old school games almost as if it were a virtual console. But we're not going to release virtual console because fuck you. Like, that just makes no sense. That makes no sense.
I hope I'm wrong, but I'm telling you, I've heard a lot of people speculate on this that the virtual console will not be a Switch thing. I hope I'm wrong.
We'll find out, I guess. But here's the thing, though. Do you subscribe at all to like PS Plus or Xbox Gold? No,
absolutely not.
Will you for the Nintendo Switch Online?
It's $20, and like. I don't play. I love Splatoon 2. I love that game, and I love Mario Kart, but not enough, I think, to like pony up. But then again, $20 is kind of like a drop in the bucket. So maybe I might just throw in $20 just to say I did. Yeah, and just see what those honestly be for those 3 games. Yeah, every month or whatever it comes out. That's what I would be paying for, but I wouldn't be like hardcore into multiplayer Nintendo games.
Yeah, that's what I'm struggling with. Is that I can't think of any game I currently have on the Switch and am expecting to get on the Switch where I'm like, online play is what I need.
Yeah, fucking ARMS, like what the fuck?
Yeah, the only ones I can think of are like ARMS and Splatoon, which I'm not a fan of, and then Mario Kart, and then the inevitable Smash game that's going to come out on the Switch whenever they decide that's going to be a thing.
Pokemon, they'll probably be like trading.
Yeah, trading. I wonder if they lock that behind that, though. I mean, I guess they would,
right? It's the internet, man.
Yeah. Huh.
Charge for it. No, we'll see. I mean, $20 is not that bad. But again, for something that we've been getting for free this whole time, it's going to be a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, and I'm curious if they're going to have any like, when you're a PS Plus member, you get like an extra 10 or 20% off like certain purchases on the PlayStation Store.
Yeah. I wonder, yeah.
Yeah, you think it might do the same? Like if you're a Nintendo Switch Online member, you get like an extra 5% off or something.
I think they do they've been known to do discounts like that, like for Club Nintendo and all this.
Yeah.
So I think that that is a possibility. We'll see. But again, like Nintendo is notorious. Their games are notorious for keeping their value forever. Like they were doing a sale for what was it called? 1-2-3 Switch.
1-2 Switch.
1-2 Switch. They were doing a fucking quote unquote sale during the holidays for it. $20 off, so it's only $40. Thanks. This game that should be fucking free. It's $40.
Yeah,
thanks.
A game that's basically like 20 tech demos wrapped up in a little cartridge.
Yeah, it was not. That game was not what it needed to be. But thinking about Switch now, I am still hyped for that tennis game, Mario Aces. Let's go, people.
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
Oh, how could you?
Because it's tennis.
Tennis is fun, especially on the Switch. I think it's gonna be good.
Fair enough. That's not all the Nintendo news, though. Apparently, there's going to be Mario Kart on your phone sometime soon.
Wow, dude, that is going to be big. But again, like, is it? Because Nintendo has kind of struck out on mobile. Well, they've kind of not done it right. Name one that ended up good.
Fire Emblem Heroes.
Did it? Okay, is it really as big, as they want it to be? Is it really making the money? I understand it's not a bad implementation of that game, but
it's definitely the best Nintendo.
The best of what they've done so far.
Yeah, Nintendo mobile game.
Okay, but they're like one for what, like 5 or 6, because Mario failed. Okay, Super
Mario
Run,
Animal Cross or Animal Pocket Farm, right? Or
what's the Amiibo game?
Pocket Camp.
Yeah, Pocket Camp is failing.
Miitomo.
Yeah, Miitomo is dead now. They're canceling that, so that sucks. Nintendo's not good at this. So we'll see though, because Mario Kart, dude, on mobile. How did it take this long? I think it's a great idea, and I think they're gonna hopefully make money. But I don't know. Would you like microtransaction the shit out of Mario Kart? Because that would suck. Like, you can only open boxes for $1 or whatever. Like,
or you get special tires for like 50 cents or something.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if I want to see microtransactions rear their head in this game.
Yeah, and the thing about mobile games is like I feel like Mario Kart is a very like active game. It's not one of those games you could just play it with one hand. Whoa.
What was that, dude?
I think a car just kind of like fucked up outside. So that's fun.
It sounded like weird on my side. What did it sound like to you?
It sounded like a car scraping through snow.
Is there snow outside?
Yeah. Oh, it's snowing bad here, buddy.
Shut the fuck up.
Nope.
Really?
Yeah, it's real bad.
How much snow?
I mean, it snowed like I think 4 or 5 inches last night.
So you think a car? That's not a small amount of snow. No. So you think a car just like hit the building?
Maybe. I'm not really sure. I'll find out. I'll find out when we're done recording.
It sounded weird from my side over here. So I am pissed too because man, it's cold here, but we're in the 40s and 50s.
Oh,
but
cold. That's like shorts
cold,
weather.
Man. Yeah, you're not lying. But.
Yep.
Yeah, this unseasonably cold weather here in Texas. But Go ahead, I digress.
So yeah, Mario Kart to me is like a very active game, right? It's not one of those games you can just play it with one hand and just be like, yeah, whatever.
Sounds like someone hit the banana peel outside.
And that's the end of our
jokes.
show. No,
it's over.
So yeah, like it's hard for me to imagine it being very fun on mobile because like Super Mario Run is not active. Mario runs automatically and you just like tap to make him jump. That's kind of it. Fire Emblem is inherently like it's tactical. It's a turn-based, strategy game. So like of course
and it's a light version of that game too.
Yeah. Pocket Camp. I mean, it's not like you need to move quickly for any kind of Animal Crossing game, really. It's not like you can crash or like miss your turn in Pocket Camp. But Mario Kart, I don't know. I'm having a hard time imagining it on the phone and being like, oh, that's good.
No, I think it's going to be great, man. Have you not played a racing game on mobile? Especially like, really? No? Especially like with modern phones now. The graphics are going to look just as good as Switch. I really think that on the latest phones.
Oh, yes.
And it's going to be an OLED. And the way you play it is, traditionally anyways, is they usually have the gas already like pushed. So you only touch the screen if you want to brake. Which in Mario Kart, I almost never brake. I usually power slide.
Same.
So it'll be interesting to see how they do that. But you just turn the phone like a steering wheel to turn. It's very intuitive.
Yeah.
And like the image will rotate with you. So it looks like even though you're turning your phone, the image stays stable, if that makes sense. So it actually is a pretty elegant kind of way to handle racing games. And there's some of the more fun games on mobile. So I actually am pretty optimistic about this. I think this is going to be cool. My only like danger here is that Nintendo is going to give this away for free and then just microtransaction the crap out of it. And it's just going to ruin the game.
Oh, like unlocking characters or something. Oh, that sucks.
Just all kinds of terrible stupidness with this. I'm hoping they avoid. But Mario Kart on mobile, think how many people are going to play that wouldn't even call themselves gamers.
Yeah.
People that like, just they have their phone or it's already in their pocket. They're gonna be like, oh, Mario Kart, I remember that from Super Nintendo or from N64. Yeah, let's download it. Like, I think it could be big with the proper care.
Here's a wild idea. How about instead of you actually driving in the races, you're like a driving manager and you send out your racers to race and you have to wait like hours for them to come back and make money for you. It's like it's like a sim. It's like a manager sim.
Pimp my go-kart.
There you go.
There. That's funny.
God, that'd be awful. All right. The CEO of Sony, Kaz Hirai, he is stepping down.
Man, he has been in that company for a very, very long time, and it's going to be interesting to see what direction the company goes in. I love Kaz Hirai's joke Twitter account that some people think is real,
Collin.
which makes me laugh. I wasn't going to say anyone. I wasn't gonna. Did he really think I was real, or was he fucking with us?
I hope not. I hope he was jerking
okay,
our gherkins.
But you heard he was jerking. Okay. So, anyways, Kaz, man, hey, like, as long as I've been paying attention to Sony, he's been there and he's been calling shots.
Yeah, I mean, he's
in some department or another.
Like, he was CEO in 2012, I believe. That's when he took over.
Yeah, but he's been in the company forever, like doing other stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know a Sony without Kaz Hirai. So this is the kind of the end of an era.
I mean, not quite. He's still going to be on like the board of directors or whatever. Like, he's gonna still be around. It's not like he's leaving Sony completely.
He'll be collecting a check and like they'll ask him like one or two questions. They make one or two giant decisions a year, and here's your salary. So I mean, good for him. I'm sure he's on to new things, and it's going to be interesting to see where Sony's direction goes. He leaves the company in great hands. I mean, in a great state, I should say. Like, Sony's never been stronger, I think, than now. Yeah,
and the new president and CEO will be Kenichiro Yoshida, who's currently the executive deputy president and the CFO.
Executive deputy president.
Yeah, I know, title. Right?
Wow.
But yeah, Kaz's last day is going to be April 1st. Which, that's a fun day to leave anything. That's a fun day to do anything.
Fiscal years are weird. Fiscal calendars.
They really are. They really, really are. EVO is, of course, coming back this year. That fighting game tournament that happens in Vegas, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. The biggest, not just that fighting game tournament. Let's give it its due here. The biggest fighting game tournament on the planet Earth.
It's the Super Bowl of fighting games. Oh, is
the
that
big game.
John Madden, what are you doing here?
Yeah. Put the gun down, Madden. No, this is the big game of fighting games, and this is a year where they are bringing in some new games and going back to some old classics. They released the lineup for it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited. So you have some old returning classics like the old like Smash Bros. Melee from the GameCube, and then the Smash Bros. For the Wii U. Tekken 7, of course, Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2, Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition, but you also have Injustice 2, which I believe was in last year's. I think that game came out like right before, right?
That's right, yeah.
And they're adding BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle by ArcSys.
Yeah.
And a game that I'm very excited about, Dragon Ball FighterZ, also by ArcSys.
So I just realized, I mean, that's awesome, but I just realized, like, no Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Isn't that weird?
I thought people didn't like that, though.
I mean, it's not, but dude, it's literally like got Capcom in the title. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and this is a thing put on, I don't think it's put on by Capcom, but still, it's like Capcom is synonymous with that. So I just think it's very weird that the new Capcom Marvel vs. Capcom is not in the, at least somewhere, right? Like a small tournament in the back in the lobby or some shit.
Yeah.
It's nowhere in EVO. That is fucked up. I mean, not fucked up because like I think it's a great game, but it's just fucked up because it's always been part of EVO, and this is just telling on how maybe far that series has fallen.
Yeah,
sadly.
And it's not even like they're using an older version like MVC3 or something, you know what I mean? They're just saying, nope, there's none of it.
Some of the greatest EVO moments involve Marvel vs. Capcom, man. So it's just like really fucked, but that's the way of the game. And you know what? Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball FighterZ has kind of supplanted, that kind of frantic style. So there's going to be some really, really interesting matchups this year. We'll see if Takedo can reprise his championship run in Street Fighter V Arcade Edition.
Man, I gotta say,
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
I am so excited for Fighters to like, because now that it's officially out, like it's gonna be officially at EVO. Because they had like the beta version last year, which was cool, but man, like, have you ever watched high level play of that game, Jack?
No, and I look forward to it. I don't need to go YouTube it anytime soon. I just want to be surprised on EVO. I love EVO. I look forward to it every year. I love the highlights. I'm a big sports fan. I'm just a big fan of competition, and I'm telling you guys, if you've never seen professional fighting games like on this level of skill, it is something to behold, and it's every bit to me as interesting as watching a great chess match or watching a great football match or a great boxing match. Might be more apt. It is intense, and people are giving their all, and people are like losing their breath, their heart's going a million miles a second. It is intense to watch these matches, even though it's just a video game.
Yeah, and there's something for everyone, I think, too, because like if you're more interested in like slow methodical type things, Tekken might be up your alley. Street Fighter 5 kind of, because those are the kind of games kind of
Street Fighter 5 is not slow, but...
Okay, Tekken though is pretty slow. It's very like give an inch, take a mile kind of a thing.
Okay.
Right. Whereas, if you're into more like frantic, crazy things, you've got Smash Bros. You've got Dragon Ball. You've got.
If you're into not knowing what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
I like to joke, but
no, I'm excited for you to see Dragon Ball FighterZ gameplay because I've seen high level you've played the beta, right? I mean, you didn't play much of it, but you did play it.
Yeah, I played it.
And
it's fun.
Yeah, and you thought it looked very stylish, even if you didn't know what you were doing, right?
Lots of dudes with giant quads screaming really loud for a very long time, shooting screen-filling fireballs at each other over and over and over again.
Exactly.
And then there's like aliens. There's dude with vegetables. There's like weird gilly dudes. There's frog dudes. There's a guy named Hit. That's Dragon Ball, right?
Yeah, I feel like it'd be really fun to like make a supercut of Dragon Ball, like cut out all the filler and just put like the very important things and make you watch that just to see your reaction to kind of everything.
All killer, no filler, Dragon Ball Z.
So let us know in the comments below if you want us to make that happen.
do not subject me to that, please. Don't like keep my eyes open and
tweet at us. Let us know if we should Clockwork Orange him into watching Dragon Ball FighterZ or Dragon Ball Z.
Please, I can't stomach it.
So yeah, look forward to EVO August 3rd this year. August 3rd through the 5th, that whole weekend.
All the talk, so hype. EVO 2018.
EVO. One last bit of news for you before we end this little section. Call of Duty this year, of course, is coming out this year because it comes out every fucking year. There is a lot of speculation that...
I have a question. Quick question, teacher. Is it a year? Is it a year?
I think so.
Okay, then there's Call of Duty. Okay.
Now, I do need to stop here because the website that I'm looking at that has this, we'll get to the news story in a minute. At the top, there is an advertisement that has a Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. And it is a Cup Noodles chicken flavored advertisement with him on it. And apparently when you buy this cup noodle, you get exclusive Dissidia DLC for buying this cup noodle. And the tagline is warm up for battle.
Dude, the trick is though they put the download code on one single noodle.
Yes, you have to look for it.
And you have to make sure you find it. You can't just slurp your noodles up or your code is gone forever. So you got to find the one noodle they put it on.
And you can't just stop because once you get into the noodles, like nom nom, it's so good you can't stop chewing it. You know, you can't stop slurping it.
On a tangent here, did you hear there's like a kerfuffle? I guess they changed the Final Fantasy VII remake character model for Cloud.
Oh, did they?
And people are not so hype on it. So look this up later. But yeah, I just want to let you know some people are somewhat upset at how they've changed Cloud for the remake.
Yikes. Well, there's your Cup Noodles Final Fantasy Dissidia plug there. Back to Call of Duty though. It's coming out this year as it does every year, and there's been speculation, rumor, some rumblings that it's going to be a new Black Ops game, Black Ops the 4th.
The blackest of ops. None more black. That's what they need to call this.
Call of Duty, Black Ops 4, the blackest of ops.
Big Black Ops 4.
the BBO.
I'm sold. Where do I sign up?
That's it. That's what it's going to be. But here's kind of a kicker. It's coming out on the Switch. If these rumors are to be believed.
Listen, what did I say earlier when we did the news about the Switch being like the fastest selling video game console of all time?
Question mark?
Somewhere
I think so. I mean, it's already outsold the Wii U.
Yeah, it's one of the fastest growing or selling consoles of all time. I think it's like it's like surpassing PS4 and all that. Anyways, what's going to happen? Third parties are going to flock, and that is exactly what we're seeing here. Do not be surprised if Far Cry 5 ends up on the Switch at some point in the future.
Maybe.
I could totally see that. Yeah, they had a Far Cry game on the fucking Wii, for instance.
Actually, I'm not 100% on it because like they were able to port Doom and Wolfenstein to the Switch because their engine was very like moddable and scalable. Far Cry's engine kind of isn't. I mean, we just talked about how Far Cry 3 chugged, right?
Right. Okay. I agree with what you're saying, and I know I definitely agree with that. But what I'm saying is there will be a Far Cry game on the Switch. Might not be just a direct port of Far Cry 5, but there will be something with the Far Cry title on it on Switch because when you get this install base, when you have all these millions and millions of people clamoring for this console, the third parties, that's like music to their ears, right? That's like honey to a bear. So they are going to flock to that console. And I'll say this too, just a couple weeks ago, I finally for the first time saw a Switch in the wild, just on the shelf. Have you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've seen them out there.
Do you now? Stores, See, it took a long time for me, man, to ever just go to a random store. It was a grocery store too, by the way.
What?
Is electronics section. Yeah, it was an electronics section in a grocery store. And they had two Switch there, and I was like, wow.
Nice.
All right. We're doing things.
Now,
making moves.
I will say, Ubisoft, I know you're listening. Yves Guillermo, just tune into this real quick. Blood Dragon on the Switch. Just can that happen, please?
Didn't they give that game away for free on PC?
Yeah, but they didn't give it away on the Switch.
Okay.
I'm just saying, man, I'd play that again on the Switch.
It's a fun game, man. It for sure is.
Oh, it really is. But,
all right, man.
Yeah, so according to this rumor, Black Ops 4, if this does happen, they're going to be scaling back the sci-fi stuff, so it's not going to be a sci-fi, which I'm kind of all right with, honestly.
I'm kind of disappointed that they're doing a Black Ops 4 because Black Ops 3 did nothing for me at all. Black Ops 2 was one of the, if not the absolute pinnacle of this entire Call of Duty series for me, though. I thought Black Ops 2 was incredible. I just want them to do new things, right? Like, I think this is a good chance. This is a good year to maybe launch a new kind of like series, right? Oh, I guess they tried to do Call of Duty Ghost, and that didn't really go anywhere, right?
Yeah,
like,
that was garbage.
But I mean, I would like to see a different Call of Duty. I don't know. I just don't want the same old, same old. Even World War II, right, last year, what was the big deal about that? It just was kind of boring.
Yeah.
Right? It was kind of uninspired.
It was very Call of Duty.
Yeah, man. So, like, the Call of Duty needs to change it up. I would be... I almost said that I'd be down for, like, an open world but Call of Duty, but that's Far Cry, basically.
Yeah, that sounds like Far Cry.
Yeah. But they need something different. They need a kart racer on mobile. No, they need something.
Call of Duty kart. I would love a Call of Duty cart. Holy crap. Could you imagine? That'd be so
Pick 10
good.
system. Pick 10 system. Pick carts.
Pick 10. 4 of them have to be wheels, unless you're riding a bike.
Yeah, pick 2, you're on a bike. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, man, I'd play the shit out of that. I don't know. What I'm looking forward to with Black Ops 4 is zombies, because Treyarch always nails the zombies. And I see you shaking your head, rolling your eyes. I'm telling you.
You love them zombies, though.
I'm telling you, though. It's usually so good.
Okay.
Although they did like wrap up the zombie story, so I don't know what their plan would be. That's honestly what I'm most interested to see in Black Ops 4. I could give no shits about the story. Multiplayer is whatever. It's the same old thing. Unless they do something to really change the multiplayer. You know what I mean? They haven't really done much recently.
I'll tell you what. If you put zombie Donald Trump as a boss, I'm so sold.
Oh yeah,
Let's do
that.
it.
I would do that.
That'd be funny.
Yeah. So that wraps us up for our news section. So I'm going to toss it over to Jack, who has a question of the week.
All right, we're getting deep. We're getting real this week with the question of the week. I've been thinking about this. I've been marinating on it over the last several days. And so we're going to learn a little bit about Robert. I'll try and chime in here as well. So Robert, the question of the week this week on episode 33 is, if you got to call yourself from 5 years ago and you had 30 seconds, what would you say?
I saw this question on Reddit.
Yes.
Joke's on
I live
you.
on Reddit. Did you answer it already?
No, I didn't. I didn't post an answer to it.
Okay.
So 5 years ago, let me think where I would be. I would be 17, getting close to finishing up high school.
You only have 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Let me think. Okay, so let me think. It would be February of like my senior year in high school, and that's like the point where I kind of stopped caring about school.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You got the senioritis?
Oh, absolutely. If you didn't, who are you, right?
When you were in high school, were you like, oh, I gotta get good grades, I gotta get in college? Like, what kind of student were you?
I was just naturally getting good grades. I never studied or anything.
He's just the natural Ric Flair.
It's true. I took 7 AP classes, and I was just like, yeah, that's fine. I was like, I think number 4 in our class, like in terms of GPA.
I am so very smart, Robert Scoop.
But man, if I had to call myself back then, you know what? I'd probably say something along the lines of like, Ohio isn't the worst place to go. It's not the absolute worst.
Wait, you told yourself that it was the worst place?
No, it's just that back then I wanted to go to Washington State more than Ohio.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, I probably would have told myself, Ohio isn't the absolute worst place to be in the States. Like, it could be, it could be Maine.
Well, it could have been anywhere else but Columbus, because I feel like Columbus is one of the rare places in Ohio that doesn't suck totally.
No, that's absolutely true. I mean, I could probably live in, like, Cincy or Cleveland, but Columbus is not bad.
Yeah, I think of the three, I think Columbus is the best.
Columbus is still the fastest growing city in the
Oh,
United
shut
States.
up. Shut up, player one. I got a name like a superhero. I'm a nene boy. Yeah. The magic egg. Dude, I hate that so much. I wish that didn't exist. I'm pouting over here. I'm really nonplussed right now.
Yeah, I can see the steam kind of coming out of your headphones right now.
I just love how they depict Columbus in that movie too. They make it look like this, like a homeless, like overrun. Like
Yeah.
they make it look like how San Francisco looks right now.
Basically.
Yeah, it's like, come on, guys.
All right, what about you? 5 years ago.
I would have told myself to try a little harder senior year of college. I would have told myself that, because I don't have a lot of regrets in college, and I did a lot of good things there. But like, one thing I do regret and I wish I could do over, and this is gonna sound like, oh, I'm so very smart too, but like, my whole time in college I was trying to keep my GPA as high as possible. For whatever reason, it meant a lot to me. And so I didn't realize how I wasn't keeping track of my GPA like I usually was, like my last semester of college, right? Like, I was just like, whatever happens. And I ended up getting like a B or some shit in one class, and it put me like 0.004 points under getting summa cum laude.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes, and being just that close, 0.004.
That's so dumb.
Really bothers me. I'm dumb for that.
No, that's just like, come on. Like, that's
I know,
such a
dude.
small. Like, just give it to him.
If I just like, like answered one question differently, who knows? Like, it just bothers me that it was that close, right?
Yeah, seriously.
And so whatever, magna cum laude, like, it's nothing to sneeze at either. But it's just like, I wish I had known that I was that close and I just tried that little bit harder. I would have told myself that if I had 30 seconds. I'm like, dude, kill it all the way to college. I know it's tough, but like, just try as hard as you can. Make sure your professors know you're trying to get, good grades, etc. And go for it. But what I actually ended up doing was like, I got good grades. I can take off this semester. It's my last one. And I wish I didn't do that.
Whoops. So very productive use of your phone call. Mine is just, Ohio's not bad. It's not the worst.
Yeah, you got 30 seconds, man. You can say more than that.
I mean, I feel like I'd have to sell it to old me, though. Like, come on, I mean, think about it. If you're not from Ohio, how much do you want to go to Ohio?
I don't know. You can tell me, because I really don't know what it's like to not be from Ohio.
Yeah, not much. You
So,
don't
like,
really want to go.
What is the South Korean a military base perception of Ohio?
They're like, what's that?
Is it like cows and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically not even on the mental map. It's like basically all West Coast of the U.S. So California, Oregon, Washington.
Not even Cleveland or Cincinnati come to mind?
Nope, not even. And then like super East Coast, like, Atlanta.
New York.
Or like New York. Yeah. Florida, some parts of Florida.
Yeah. Not a big fan of Atlanta myself. I have family there, but I'm not a big fan of that city.
Right.
The airport's just too ridiculous.
Oh, there's a bit of Texas too, because there's like Fort Hood and all that.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm not that far from Fort Hood, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So let me see here.
Yes.
So like you said, like, Columbus isn't even on the mental map. So a lot of people, when they found out I was from Ohio, because when I started my career after college, I met people from all over the country, and their perception of people from Ohio was that we sound like, they got Ohio and Wisconsin mixed up, and like Minnesota and South Dakota.
So they thought people say Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio. Yeah, they all thought like you have an accent if you're from Ohio. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, no. If anything, people from the Midwest, to me, anyways,
have no accent.
Have the most baseline flat, like, English, of anywhere else in the country. Even California has a dialect. New York has a dialect. Obviously, Jersey has a dialect. Boston has a dialect.
I'm walking here.
Yeah, the dirty South. Even Texas has a dialect. At least the perception of a dialect. But to me, like, Midwest is that's just normal baseline how people talk.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
But there were people like, oh, you're from Ohio. You got an accent. I'm like, do I sound like I have an accent at all?
What, do they think you're like from Montana or some shit?
I don't know, man.
Or Minnesota.
Yeah. So anyways, that was an interesting question. We learned a lot about you, Robert.
Yeah, definitely. So guys, if you're not in Ohio, maybe check it out. It's not that bad.
I mean, parts of it are fine. Parts of it are fine.
Don't go outside of Columbus unless you want to go apple picking. Other than that,
Let me ask you this. Are you surprised, and this is a Columbus specific question here, are you surprised at the sheer volume of fast food available? Or is that a normal thing you see all the time?
I mean, it's not a normal thing I see, but I don't remember ever thinking like, wow, there's just so much. Like, it's just, oh, okay, this is a thing.
Go to the suburbs then, I guess, because compared especially to like Texas, like, there is not that much. There is fast food here, but it's just in such a high concentration in Columbus.
Maybe.
I mean, the surrounding area, man, it's ridiculous.
I guess I don't have much to compare it to. Like, I mean, I could compare it to Korea, but like, I feel that's an unfair comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess I also just generally make an effort to go to fewer fast food places than I can help. You know what I mean? Like, trying not to go there as much.
Yeah, I hear you, man. And I was just thinking, since we're talking about Korea right now, you know what tomorrow is, right? Or Friday.
This Friday,
you know what that is, right?
Independence Day.
No, well, I don't know. Maybe it's the Olympics, dude. The Winter Olympics. Yeah. I am hyped for that, dude. Wu-Tang. I'm talking about Pyeongchang, son. Let's get these Olympics on. I'm all about some Winter Olympics. I'm excited, dude. I'm gonna get to watch it on this new TV.
Follow winter sports?
No, that's the whole point. It's the Olympics. It's the one time you get hype in 4 years over winter sports. That's what I like about the Olympics. Like, these sports that no one really cares about just come along, and then we can pretend like they're the most important things in the world, and the storylines and the heartbreak and the drama. I mean, dude, I'm hyped. I've got Olympic fever, man. I remember Sochi. Sochi did not seem like 4 years ago.
Holy shit, that was.
Right?
Huh. The fuck?
And what are the Olympics going to be now? Matt Lauer's gone now for obvious reasons. Like,
Right.
wow. And do you remember when Bob Costas had the fucking pink eye on the Olympics? Do you remember that in Sochi?
God, that was so bad.
Dude, that is nightmare fuel. Like, go watch Bob Costas' gross pink eye. Why would he not just wear sunglasses? I mean, I think the world would understand. I think it would have made pretty funny memes. I think he should have wore sunglasses rather than had his pink eye out there for everyone to look at. Should have been worn, either should have been wearing sunglasses or just should have passed the baton to someone else and let them do the show.
I don't know. I mean, I am kind of sad a little bit just because it's happening. It's like so close to my hometown. Like, yeah, Pyeongchang is like pretty close. So I'm just like, ugh.
How much family do you have there still?
Just my parents. So like,
Okay.
if I had still lived in Korea, I'd be like that close to seeing the Olympics, which is like
They're going to go to some things, I would assume.
Probably, yeah.
I have a friend in South Korea too. What up, Adam? And he was talking about making he was planning on making the drive. It's about an hour and a half or so to Pyeongchang from where he's at to watch the hockey games because he's a huge NFL. He's a huge NHL fan, but then the NHL said they're not sending any of their pros to Pyeongchang.
Nice. Good.
So it's like pure amateur now. So there is almost no pro hockey players playing. It's like an Olympic first for a long time. And reason being is because it's just logistically a nightmare. It like interferes with the whole season, and they're saying that they're not seeing the payoff in it. They're not seeing like the business grow internationally like they had hoped to see if they put pros in the Olympics. It's just not there. So the risk reward is very skewed in the wrong direction.
I mean, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Hockey feels like a very like North America sport to me. Like I can't think of an international scene for hockey,
bro. But Russia is the biggest hockey country in the world.
Is
like
it?
Russia. Yes, dude. Have you seen Miracle?
No.
You know about the Miracle on Ice?
No.
Bro, you need to see this movie. Yes,
Oh,
Olympic hockey has a storied tradition, and you should watch Miracle. I think Kurt Russell is the coach, and it's basically it's a true story, and it actually happened in the Olympics. But it was a moment, man. And so, we'll see if that happens again. But Olympic hockey has a very, very rich tradition. And it's just sad to know that we won't be seeing the nation's greatest and the world's greatest hockey players on the same rink. So it kind of diminishes the whole hockey thing.
Today I learned.
Yeah. Dude, watch Miracle. That's a great movie.
I think that does it, though, for us, right? Today's podcast. Unfortunately, without Colin.
Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang. So if you enjoyed what we did here, leave us a review, leave us an iTunes review. That'd be really cool. We really, really appreciate that. If not, tell a friend, get on a plane, go to a random city, and the first person you see as you step off the plane, just tell them, hi, listen to the Tiny Disc podcast. Just go right ahead. No big deal. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feedback, or anything you want us to read live on this pre-recorded show, you can email it to us at tinydiscpodcast@gmail.com. Or if you want to follow any and all of our social media channels, feel free to check them out at tinydisc.com. We have all of the links there, as well as all of our previous episodes if you want to go through our back catalog and see how much we've improved, or if you want to hear Colin's voice because this is the first episode you're hearing, you have no idea who Colin is. Check out another episode.
He's real. He's a real boy.
He's not an imaginary host of ours that, we just pretend that there's a third
Colin
guy.
is not code word for something else. It's a dude.
That'd be buck wild, a two-man podcast with an imaginary third who never shows up.
It never shows up. Dude, we have an idea.
Hi, welcome to the first episode of Tiny Disc Podcast. It's Jac and Robert. Our third friend Colin hasn't shown up yet.
Man, it's really going to be great when he shows up next week, we promise.
33 weeks later, man, he's still not here.
Oh, man, it's going to be so great, though, when he is.
So, Jac, where can we find you online?
At JACCEPEDA, Mr. Jac Cepeda, if you are of the nasty variety.
That is very gross. You can follow Collin on Twitter at Collin. Well, Collin in mono is his Twitter name, at booboo__55. Colin, how do you ever say that without cracking up? Because holy crap, dude, that's just.
Did you give me my my Twitter handle online when I wasn't in the show? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
What is this about? Yeah,
sorry. Wow.
Preferences.
I forgot.
Noted.
I forgot. It's just, no. Colin read out yours, didn't he? Yeah, he did, because he was like he did the whole "if you're nasty" thing.
Okay, yeah.
I think he did.
TM.
And you can follow me at Pinoptimist, PINOPTIMIST. That's where I am on all the social media channels. Thank you so very much for listening to the two-man Tiny Disc podcast. And we'll all three of us see you next Thursday.
Have yourself a big black op.